Oh, that's hilarious. Hello. Welcome. Hello and welcome to the Full Force News Burst brought to you by General Joe's Reborn.com with me, Christopher McLeod AKA Diagnostic 80. Yeah, sorry about that. Annoying start. If you're just listening to the audio, then it'll be funny because the visual was all over the place when I started. I'm going to have to make a complaint about that weird thing that it does. But in any case, how is everyone doing? It's been a busy old day in the world of G.I. Joe again. We've got new cool renders to enjoy. We've got more pre-orders around the corner. I know. It's getting kind of crazy. And also, it's in the works already. But if you've already watched my interview with Lenny and Tony, we've got another one coming after the 15th of April. So that's being set up as well. Just key, it's relentless, which is always fun and always good when you're in the GI Joe universe, shall we say. But yeah, we are in the process of doing another interview with Lenny and Tony following the 15th of April. I actually jokingly sent them a message earlier saying, 16th, okay? So yeah, we'll hopefully have more news as that comes in. But yeah, lots of interesting stuff to get stuck into today with the renders. Now, of course, we knew these figures were coming. They were leaked a while back. We've seen legs, we've seen listings shift around, all sorts of interesting things have been happening. And then lo and behold, we just get full on render reveals, which is kind of good. It kind of gets ahead of some of the leaks. A couple of images might have been about to leak and find their way out there, and it's nice. At least we've got the blooming renders to kind of enjoy. Hello, Mark Cully. How you doing, buddy? Long time no see. Thanks to everyone in the chat. Lots of you at the moment. Hope you're having a fun Wednesday, the day after what do you call it, April Fools. But this is no April Fool. It's funny how I think a lot of companies will avoid doing specifically actual real things on the 1st of April. So I feel like this is definitely thought through by the Joe team that have gone like, let's drop this today. Otherwise, people will be like, this isn't real. And of course, Marvel did the Marvel Legends team. Didn't they do like an entire drop on the first? It was crazy. Anyway, it's the 2nd of April. We're in here now. Let's get stuck into it. We've got lots to discuss. Starting, of course, with those lovely renders. Yes, we had renders for Monkey Wrench, Battle Armor Cobra Commander, Major Bludd, Snake Eyes version 4, and the Claw, because they're all going to be dropped as pre-orders on the 15th of April, and this was sort of like a pre to that. Now, what's interesting is I don't know what this does to the genuinely don't know what this does to the what do you call it, to the line plan, because we'll get to it eventually. But when we're talking about the listings, this 4-figure wave, or this group of 4 figures, not necessarily this particular group, it was originally, as we said before, like with the kind of the numbers and the listings and everything that came out before, Sci-Fi, Night Viper, and Monkey Wrench and Snake Eyes version 4. Then, of course, Battle Armor Cobra Commander and Major Bludd, who are in the next group along, they were moved up, and it looks like Sci-Fi and Night Viper were pushed along. Now, but even that said, if these are dropping on April the 15th, that leaves us with Yojo June and PulseCon to still have 4-figure waves, right? You think? Although I don't know what it means, or what it means for listings, or what it means for Yojo June. Do we get that next group of figures for Yojo June and then another group of figures for PulseCon? It seems a lot, doesn't it? 4 groups of 4 per year. But if they are doing that, then that's what they're doing. It could have something to do with the delays. It could have something to do, it could be anything. So hopefully they'll be able to answer some of those questions in the interview further down the line. But it's funny that we do an interview and then literally days after it's posted, if that, one day after it's posted, that interview, we get these render reveals. It is just, I'm sure they do it to me on purpose. I'm sure they do it to me on purpose. Like, they couldn't have just said, let's hold fire for a couple of days on it, and then we'll be able to get you a bit more information. No, no, we've got to go absolutely bonkers like this. So anyway, yeah, I'll be doing well, 2 interviews is always better than one, I guess, isn't it? So that'll be fun. But yeah, obviously, this is what the GI Joe socials posted earlier today. Greetings, citizens, obviously in Cobra Commander's voice. Jedi Pen says they're stringing Chris along, confirmed. Yeah. The year of the snake just keeps slithering along with a new wave of G.I. Joe classified figures dominated by Cobra naturally. The newest member of the winning team, Dreadnought Monkey Wrench, demonstrated he's the type of scum that rises to the top in joining Zartan's band of Vipers. He comes equipped with his signature trident harpoon and more for doing unprovoked mayhem. My subordinates are always seeking to improve themselves to curry my favour, as evidenced by the return of my favourite mercenary, Major Bludd, now with pinless arms and legs. Interesting. Saving the best for last, of course, you get me, Cobra Commander, with combat armour. The sinister figure of yours truly includes alternate versions of my striking visage, as well as my precious pet iguana, Serpentor. Maybe you've heard of him. And don't forget about our Cobra Claw glider with Cobra Pilot, which is perfect for prison escapes or silent interludes. Nice. It's truly a stupendous day for Cobra, don't you agree? Join us on April 15th to increase your Cobra ranks. For you foolish fans of your average Joes, here's a reminder that a token Snake Eyes is in his blue commando togs. Buy him if you must. Anyway, amazing. Absolutely crazy pants. So lots of interesting elements in there. Obviously, the April 18th for the pre-order drops there, which is kind of surprising because it's like much earlier than Yojo June, of course. And it means we've had how many pre-orders in the space of 2 months? Lots, because it was literally March, wasn't it? March and April. Just crazy, crazy pants. So that's one of the aspects, obviously, on here. April 15th pre-orders for the Claw, Snake Eyes, Major Bludd, Cobra Commander, and Monkey Wrench. Also, little elements here. Obviously, the fact that Monkey Wrench and his Trident Harpoon, which again is something that I asked them about in the interview, and they played dumb on that one. But it's obviously it was going to come, and I'm glad that it's in there. We'll look at it in a second, of course, as well. Don't you worry. The Major Bludd thing, it seems to be they're focusing on the arms and legs here, because obviously I knew from that leaked leg of Major Bludd that it was Outback's legs that they were using. So, and I'm assuming that's pinless, or it's just something I wasn't paying attention to. Either way, that's nice, I guess, that they've done that. Sort of like it's a little bit out of the Marvel Legends playbook, isn't it? If you're going to re-release a figure and it's not going to be much in the way of like deco changes or anything like that, that they do something like improve the tech, improve the build in some way. Whether it's the face print might be a better face print, or it's like pinless arms and legs, that kind of thing. So at least there's an element of something new about Bludd, which is kind of interesting. And yeah, we'll look at the deco as well in a second. Then, of course, you've got Cobra Commander with an animal companion, which is amazing. I believe was it Vipra who had a Serpentor homage, the iguana homage on the packaging. It was one of the Night Force figures, anyway, or Night Force Walmart exclusives. And yeah, it's either Shadow Tracker or Vipra. I think it was Vipra. Someone let me know in the comments, please. Jason has asked, pre-orders just Hasbro or others like BBTS? Well, they're mainline figures, so it's going to be everywhere, Jason. Even the Claws mainline, it's all mainline, so it'll be Pulse, BBTS, Entertainment Earth, you name it. It'll be everywhere, Jason, on the 15th of April. We have had 4 figures released this year so far, but have a crap ton of pre-orders still. Yes, Scott, but in terms of the pre-orders, it's been so many, hasn't it? Claw is Pulse exclusive, says Aaron Easton. Is it? I might have even said that, Aaron, from the listings as well. So that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Sorry, I think I've just confused myself there. Yeah, Claw's Pulse exclusive, and the rest of it will be mainline. Yeah, my apologies. Thank you. I mean, it's on my listings thing, isn't it? I can't follow my own blooming stuff, can I? I can't follow my own stuff. So yes, Pulse exclusive for Claw. When are they going to be actually available when pre-ordered? Who knows? Who knows? With delays and all the other aspects going on with the line, who knows? It'll tell you on pre-order day, won't it? When it's expected to deliver. That's when that information comes out. But yeah, we don't know right now at this particular moment in time. Right, let's get stuck into these. So obviously, of course, there's the Claw. As you guys have pointed out very clearly, yes, it is a Pulse exclusive. My apologies on that one. That is obviously the case. And yes, we have obviously the Claw Pilot, the Claw. We've seen it before. We've seen the render before. We've seen the figure in hand, courtesy of Toy Fair. And obviously Lenny talked about it, and Tony talked about it in massive depth regarding all the different features and aspects and stuff to this. So very excited about the Claw finally in hand. So that's one. Then, of course, we've already seen and discussed Snake Eyes version 4 as well. That's something that's already been kind of well known in terms of, render. We've seen it already. But obviously, what we know now is that this is going out on the 15th of April, which is kind of crazy. Then we'll get into because obviously we've discussed Snake Eyes, we've discussed the Claw, we've gone through these kind of figures in detail already. So let's get to the first one in the list. I've put these in order of my kind of preference of interest, I think. So we'll start with Major Bludd, because obviously there's a lot of reuse here. They have, as they've mentioned in the blurb, they have mentioned that the arms are now pinless, the legs are now pinless. So that's a thing. That's an element that's going to improve this particular figure, I would say. It is like a slightly different deco in that the arms got red and black elements on it. Can we zoom in on that, please, Chris? Thank you. And of course, the secondary has those little red and black. It was black in it with the red little elements inside as well. He does actually match 788 Fireteam. That's a very good point, Justin. And who else mentioned that? Did anyone else say that? No, it was you, Justin Ingram, who's just said his team Bludd. Very good point. Very good point. 610 says, I don't know how you even try to keep it all straight. No apologies necessary. Well, in that case, I will. That was a massive error on my point, saying it was mainline, the Claw. It's obviously Pulse exclusive, and I've said it many times before. Blitz says he healed up nicely, having those pins in his legs removed. Nice one, Blitz. The red and black gives me Renegades vibe, says Scott. Oh, yeah, good point, actually. Did the weapons change on the Claw render? I thought originally it had a grenade launcher as well. I'm probably wrong. Don't remember. I might have to look at the old render. Now you're making me want to look at the old render of the let's see if I can find it. Classified Claw. No, it's exactly the same. Yeah, it's exactly the same as the previous render. I'm looking at the old render here that was revealed ages ago, and yeah, it's exactly the same. No changes at all. So yeah, that was just an incorrect memory you had there, 610. I prefer the color scheme. So let's go back to Bludd. Aaron says I prefer the color scheme of the first version of Bludd, but I take both for the collection. Yeah, it's same on that one. I would say. Stanley says, will the backpack be updated to fit the rockets? I hope so, but I don't know. I don't know on that one, Stan. We'll get to that, Mark, in a second. I'll try and remember, or I'll say it out loud what you said here, Mark. Slightly disappointed with Armored Cobra Commander. Was hoping to get a Fred and a Ponytail Commander head with it. Maybe a deluxe release with a Pogo can include them. Monkey Wrench is awesome. That's amazing, by the way. Battle Armored Cobra Commander with a Pogo would be freaking insane. Who knows? We might get Fred heads with some sort of Crimson Guard thing in the future. We might get the Ponytail Commander with another version of Cobra Commander. Who knows? there's options for that sort of thing to kind of come into the line mark. But yeah, I will say I am a little bit. What they've done actually is really, really good. But I will agree with you on that one. I was hoping for a Fred head. I feel like we need a Fred head in the line. We need it for Crimson Guards. We need it for Cobra Commander. But like, we need it. Like, it's kind of one of those things that they've missed opportunities to do that multiple times now, and it makes me wonder. Like, start running out of opportunities to kind of incorporate it. But yeah, I'll say that there's a disappointment there with that aspect, Mark. But I will say the figure looks so good, and what comes with it kind of is still really, really cool. But yeah, I agree with you on that, genuinely. Paisano says, really wish he was retro. Yeah, it would make sense on a retro card. It could have been that one that was cancelled. They could have moved Bludd into this one. Although the thing with that is we had both listings for Major Bludd and for that retro listing as well, which we never found out what it was. So it's probably wasn't Bludd going to be in that one, but Bludd was originally planned to be a retro figure a long time ago, back at the end of the first wave of retro figures. In any case, that's a bygone age now. Hooded Cobra Commander could have a removable hood, says Chris G. That would be kind of cool, actually. Thank you, David, about the interview. I appreciate it. Agreed on the Cobra Commander, not only the head, but I'm not exactly sure about the chest armor. Seems plain or missing detail, says Jedi. Well, we'll get to that in a second. Let's hold fire and let's continue with Bludd for a second. As far as I was aware, it looked like the exact same right arm. Was that pinless anyway? That new arm they did for him on the right hand side, the kind of the updated bionic arm. I can't remember. Someone will just have to let me in the comments. I'm assuming it is a new left arm, or they've retooled the old arms. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't know though. These are all the left. This left is different. Okay, thank you, Stan. So it's probably just one that they had that's pinless already. That said, I will be asking all these questions to the team, and they can take me through all the details of this particular figure as well. Of course, let's move on though, because obviously everything else is pretty standard issue. Everything else came with the figure before. I'm genuinely hopeful that those missiles fit the bloody backpack though. Oh my goodness. Anyway, Monkey Wrench. What's interesting is this looks nothing like the monkey wrench that's on the back of that Cold Slither packaging, which I think is quite funny. That is quite funny that monkey wrench on the back of the Cold Slither packaging has almost no resemblance to this one. Like, the pants are different. The pants have got rips all over them. The pants they've got on the back of that thing, no issue, no rips anywhere. He doesn't have the grenade bandolier. He I want to say, like, even like the vest looks a little bit different as well. But it could, again, it could just be that they messed about with it colors wise. Obviously a different color completely as well. But I love this monkey wrench. I think they've done a phenomenal job on this monkey wrench. He looks so bloody good. Oh, one thing Jason just pointed out, original green emblem is on Bludd's left arm. Oh yeah, you're right. It is. Good shot. Good shout there, Jason. I did not notice that. So effectively, it kind of is a retro-ish sort of figure, isn't it, in a way? Other than the red bits, of course. But yeah, interesting. Thank you for pointing that out. Anyway, Monkey Wrench, I think, looks phenomenal. Lots of aspects to talk about here. So we'll talk about that obvious, very cool addition that's also in there that's really interesting. He's got a tattoo, left arm. Has anyone actually been able to make out what that is? I certainly have not had any opportunity to look at these really in any way, shape, or form. It looks like a wrench. It looks like a cross wrench, like wrenches that are crossed over, sort of like maybe with like a skull and wrench bones almost. Obviously monkey wrenches, if that makes sense. But yeah, when you zoom in, they look like wrenches that are crossed over, which is pretty cool, with some sort of like skull maybe above it. but that will be an interesting one to see what it looks like. But a nice tattoo there anyway. Do the glasses come off? Don't know, actually. That's something that we'll have to find out. Looks like he's got a little bit of scarring on his face because he blows things. He likes explosions, loud explosions. It doesn't look like, well, I don't know, is the answer. The glasses may come off to show a little bit more of that scar. He's got a eyebrow piercing, which is a nice touch as well. And I don't know. I think there's a lot to enjoy about this monkey wrench design. He's got some interesting little kind of buckle straps on the vest as well. Another little colored extra deco detail. The grenades look brilliant on what looks to be a car seat safety belt. Is that a car belt? Is that a safety belt in a car? It is, isn't it? His bandolier is a freaking safety belt in a car. That's amazing. What a lovely little addition. I didn't even notice that until I zoomed in. Until I zoomed in. That's phenomenal. It also looks like there's a tattoo on his right arm, by the way. Seatbelt is the word I'm looking for. Why can't I remember what the word seatbelt is? Yeah, there is a tattoo on his right arm as well, but it's so small you can hardly see it. But it's there. There's something going on. So he's got tattoos on both biceps, which is cool. Anyway, back to the seatbelt. He's got a freaking seatbelt, guys. That's nuts. Tattoo piston heads. I don't think so. I think they're wrenches. I think one is an adjustable wrench at the other end. They look like wrenches to me. We'll see, I guess, eventually. Again, the little necklace is nice as well. That little kind of upside down horns, pretty cool. The belt buckles, again, very cool. That's got wrenches crossed with a skull in front of them. And I love the belt details where you've got. I wonder if they just didn't. I think they haven't painted that one on the right hand side as we look at it. The belt loop probably should be blue, like the other one. They probably just didn't paint it on the render and didn't notice, forgot to. It looks like he's got seat belts all over him. It looks like there's a seat belt strap on his right thigh as well. If we look at the legs as we move down. Obviously, the gloves are really nice too, with the rivets around the wrist. The chains are really nice too on the belts. That's nice touches. Again, like it adds like a nice detail to like for the secondaries and everything, and gives it like some really nice extra sculpt detail. I love it. The rips are awesome. Again, one on the knee, two on the left thigh. You got the little like ribbons or the bandanas wrapped around his shins as well. He's so good. This is a solid figure. I love Monkey Wrench. Love Monkey Wrench. This is perfect in my opinion. Love it. Obviously, he's got spare fists as well as the C grips. And then when you look at the kind of loadout too, you've got the wrenches which have been strapped to axes, which is amazing. So it's like a wrench axe, which is crazy good. Have we seen that already? Is that something that the firefighter came with? Or is this new? I haven't had an opportunity to really think or look at it, but that must be new. The firefighter wouldn't have something like that, would they? That's new, isn't it? Thank you, Ed. They've given him two of these mental wrench axes, which is really cool. We've got like obviously a cover for his face, a bandana for his face. We've got a neckerchief as well. That's another nice touch. We've got the Mad Max. Well, we'll get, actually, I'm getting a bit ahead of myself there. Sorry. What is on my tongue? It's annoying me. I was like an eyelash or something. Then of course we've got the pistol, and we've also got the they've done a really good job on recreating that trident thing as well. It's on point. The extra elements, the little kind of like cable or like little wire running from the handle to the that kind of like whatever that is. That's some sort of grenade launcher or something underneath. It's so good. So good. Pistol from Wild Bill, question mark, says Jason. I don't know, actually. That's a good... I should check, but he's miles away behind me. And I can't... Someone else will have to do the legwork on that. But yeah, it looks like it could be reuse. The neckerchief and bandana are the same fabric pattern. Yeah, so that's nice touch. And it's got, yeah. The trident looks small, says Out of Shelf Space. Oh, I don't know. I think it's fine. Does it need to be massive? Brass knuckle finger guard. Oh, what on the trident? Yeah, I think it's like... I suppose you're right. It does actually look like a brass knuckle shape. It does, doesn't it? I think you're right on that. Bottom grenade launcher is just going to blow the trident up when it fires. Of course it will. Dreadnoks for life. That's what they're all about. Making their own custom weapons that don't work properly. So it's a good loadout for this figure, in my opinion. Again, like getting that weapon right was the main issue, and I think they've done an absolute bang up job of that one. And then, of course, this additional element, which is Tony was insinuating on the interview. He said there was a cool red-blue sort of lens situation going on, and it looks amazing. So I'm assuming it's a hairpiece. So it looks like the hair is removable on the figure, and maybe the glasses are attached to the hair. Would you agree, guys, with that one? I think it's not a bad shout that the glasses are attached to the hair. You pull the hair and the glasses off, and then you can attach this as a separate piece. And yeah, you've got Star-Lord, Rachel, indeed. You've got that kind of like Mad Max Star-Lord sort of respirator with the blue and red lenses. So it looks like it's a hair piece and mask connected piece. And it looks like the other hair piece is connected to the shades, much like Metalhead. So it probably does a Metalhead sort of situation there. But anyway, great additions for Monkey Wrench. Cole Slither says, for reading Battle Action Force 3D stories. That's so true. That's so true. Twisted says, not sure if I'll be displaying this mask. No, I probably won't either. That's the thing. It'll be the default Monkey Wrench. But it's a nice option if you fancy doing something interesting for toy photography or what have you. Yes, exactly. Sonic Fights Kimberlin, exactly the same kind of vibe as Metalhead with the hair and glasses combo. Cabal from Mortal Kombat says, Joss, yes, absolutely. Yeah, just paint the blends as black. Indeed, if you want Cabal, yes. Anyway, that's Monkey Wrench. Massive fan of Monkey Wrench. I probably should have left him till last because he's the one I am actually really excited for, I think, out of this list. But, you know, it doesn't matter because the next one's amazing as well. Cobra Commander, Battle Armor. And, of course, we've seen some leaks for this particular figure. And it sort of makes sense that they've done the heads, one with the snakes in the eyes and one with the snake head underneath, basically. I wonder if people are going to put the Once a Man Cobra Commander head on this. And I'm going to ask if it fits, because that's going to be a question I will ask the team. Does the Once a Man Cobra Commander head fit on this? Because if it does, then I'm very happy with that. I know it's not exactly the same as the Deke version that had the bit of green running through it and everything, but that's still a really good option to have with a Once a Man Cobra Commander head on that. And as well, the backpack, brilliant. The pistol, fantastic. Let's go through these pieces bit by bit. I really like this mold, this sculpt. I think it looks phenomenal. I don't think they could have done a better job personally with it. I know there was talk there before of not looking like there was much going on the chest. I don't know. I think it looks pretty cool, to be honest. There's a lot of there's lots of panels there. There's lots of stuff kind of like indented, like kind of pressed in. I don't know. I just think there's lots going on with that. Then you got that kind of almost like the lower, the kind of stomach kind of panel as well, which has kind of got lots of detail on it. I don't know. I'm liking this. Shoulder armor looks pretty interesting as well. Is that reuse? Is that from Darklon, or have I gone mad? And either way, it looks good, and the arms look great. And the cod piece. I know you're waiting for me to talk about the groin, the red belt with the holster and everything. Everything phenomenal. Frank says, I think your chest panel opens to reveal the Matrix. That's hilarious. A bit more blue, says Twisted. There's a lot of blue in there for sure. Can't quite place what's. Oh, okay. You can't quite place what's off to you. I don't know. Yeah, I don't see anything personally. I'm not seeing anything that's off to me there. I'm looking at it. I'm going, that's brilliant. Again, these are renders as well. So we're probably, you know, when we see these like promotional images, we're always going. They always win me over. Whenever I see promo images of these things, I'm always like, okay, yeah, you had me at hello, but now you've got me. Renders are always really good to kind of get an idea of what's going on, but do they ever really show us what's happening? Not really. When we see this figure in 3D, I think people are going to lose their underpants. It's going to be a pants-free zone. When I zoom in on this, by the way, there's a lot of texture going on the blue. Lots of texture, lots of lines, lots of like different like bits and pieces on the blue. The blue is far more detailed than I thought it was looking at this from a distance. Obviously you've got that kind of like also there's interesting black texture going on from the neck down the chest as well, like ribs going all the way down, which is kind of interesting. Obviously you've got that extra pipe on the torso as well, which is really cool. The belt looks really nice with the silver Cobra buckle. And then the legs just look like RoboCop. Just 100% look like RoboCop legs. It's really funny. When you look at the legs on their own, you would think that was a RoboCop figure. You can just about see, when you zoom in as well, you can see that shin articulation, which I was really concerned about. But when we looked at the leaked leg, you could kind of see it from the side. It's a lot lower, and it's sort of where in fact, have I done a close-up of the legs? I don't think I have. Sorry, guys. But as you get lower, there is a split there, which looks very clinically there. So there's definitely like a lower shin articulation, which is a bonus because, like, as we've seen with like Mission, was it Arctic Mission Storm Shadow? If you don't have any sort of like split shin articulation, whether it's a boot cut or it's like some other cut on some other sort of, you know, visually aesthetic sort of working element, then it really does have a problem with posing and everything. I think when you see this posed, I think people are going to go absolutely bum nuts crazy with it. He's got spare hands, of course. He's got fists. He's got the C grips, and he's got one left pointing hand as well. Then, of course, we have the snake-eyed helmet, which is this is a nice touch. I'm glad that we got two heads with this one, even though, yes, not one of them isn't Fred, like an unmasked Fred, and one of them isn't the unmasked sort of like, you know, funny tash, long ponytail Cobra Commander. It's cool that we did get two different heads with it. Again, Deke homage here because obviously Cobra Commander was very much under that helmet. In actual fact, like I said, I'd love to see that Once a Man head on this figure because I think it would look really, really good. Yes, Lightfoot, definitely an ankle cut on there for sure. We need more comic book love, says Hydrus. I agree, actually. I agree. Twisted says, agree about posing. That changes the whole game sometimes. Totally. Anyway, let's move through because, again, this is really cool. I love the snake eyes on there. And I mean the eyes, snaky eyes, not as in Snake Eyes, the character. We get the backpack as well, which is a real bonus, isn't it? Like that's a real, like, that's a thumbs up. Very happy that we've got a backpack because backpacks are few and far between now, aren't they? So yeah, I'm glad that they've done this. Is kind of like a cooler version of that original backpack too. Like I can definitely see where the inspiration is, but they've gone a little bit further with it. It's a little bigger too. So I don't know. I think that's going to look really cool with the backpack and the pistol and the iguana. Anyway, brilliant stuff. These are all mainline, don't forget. So it'll be, I say, much easier to get. I've been really struggling to find Leatherneck, Dial Tone, and Xandar, but yeah, I hope these will be easier to access than the exclusives for sure. Then, of course, we have the pistol, The pistol rifle, it's hard to say really. It's a one-handed situation, but it's pretty large. But it's very cool, and it's very classically battle armor Cobra Commander. So again, happy with that. It's all in black by the looks of things, and I wonder if that's a removable magazine. Don't know. It might be. And again, I will be asking that question to the team. It might also not be, because what they tend to do on renders is they'll show the magazine separate from the gun, won't they? So I'll ask that question. Don't you worry. I'll ask that question. But the most important thing about this particular is we've got another animal companion, guys, and it's an iguana, and it's Serpentor, of course, from the Deke cartoon. But my goodness, I'm so happy. I did not for a second think we were going to get an animal companion with this Cobra Commander. So they've gone full Deke, and it looks like we're getting Serpentor the iguana. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I'm happy with this one. I'm happy, because we get more animals, and more animals equals more better, right? Ed says Norga hides pet iguana. Yeah. Bad Wolf Media says, I don't think Dalton is shipped in very large quantities so far. I think he's in the same shipping container as the Arctic bats. Yeah, it's probably delay related. Yeah, absolutely. Ed says, I don't think it's actually Serpentor. I think it is. He looked more like Chet from Weird Science, says Ed. That's true. Anyway, yes. And true, Scott, all the figures in the last wave had backpacks. You're totally right. They are leaning heavily, they are leaning back towards backpacks. That is you've got a good point there. Yeah, you're right. They had backpacks. Quite a few of them have now. But we were going through a period, weren't we, where backpacks were just not a thing, and it was really weird, especially for figures like Alpine and the Dreadnoks, who sort of need backpacks, really. Anyway, so now we have 2 Serpentors in the line. Yes, we do, Steve. Absolutely. In any case, what a fun load of reveals, eh? That brings me to this little section. There you go. It says Pulse exclusive for Cobra Claw. Of course it is. Twisted says, man, I need to watch Deke. That is a definite blind spot I've never rectified. I was never able to catch many as a kid. Yeah, good luck indeed, says Paisano, but good luck indeed on that one, Twisted. They're all on, are they all on? I want to say they're either on, they're on something. They're all on YouTube, I think. They might be on Tubi now, actually, as well. But I had to get a few years back, I actually bought the DVD collection. But I think Tubi had it very recently, didn't they? I want to say Tubi, yeah. I think Tubi posted the Deke kind of cartoons, like I'm talking, I think it was months ago. Like it wasn't a long time ago, but they didn't have it for the longest time. And I bought the DVD collection because I wanted them anyway, and I want, for the collection and everything. And yeah, I still haven't got through them all because it is an absolute slog. Tubi just added the movie as well, says Jim. Brilliant. Paisano says, just run through Deke as fast as you can so you don't lose interest. Anyway, coming back to this, it's funny, isn't it? It's actually quite Deke. There's an element of Deke going on here because you've got Snake Eyes version 4 who shows up in the Deke cartoon as well. Outback, she says, so are we not getting Fred 7? Not what, like a head? No. That the render does not appear to show that. No. Justin says, got the Footlocker set of DVDs. Don't think Deke was involved in that though, Justin. I've got the Footlocker as well, right there. I didn't realize. I don't think Deke's in that. I don't think it's included in it. It's just the first and second season of the Sunbow, isn't it? And a space for the movie. Anyway, in any case, yeah, go on to Tubi and you can watch all the Deke cartoons. Right, you can watch all the G.I. Joe stuff. It's great. I used to put it on all the time. It's usually on all the time. Tubi. I've got it on my phone as well as an app. How about that water vehicle confirmation, Chris? Yes, Splits. Very, very happy about that. Footlocker ended halfway through the second season. Crazy. I didn't even realize that, Scott. Maybe we'll see Eevee, says Antonio. Possibly. I think a female range viper in general would be pretty cool. But then, yeah, you've got the opportunity then to do like a almost like a Skullbuster and Eevee as purple kind of Reeb decos, and then you could have like, I don't know, you could kind of have a range viper. You could have like, call them range viper commander, right? And then you could have like a Skullbuster in purple, an Eevee as well, female range vipers too. That'd be great. There's a lot of scope for female troop builders for Cobra, and I think the more of those we get, the better, because I think we can. It's really going to like open the lineup a little bit as well for that sort of stuff. But yeah, I'd love to see Eevee and Deek Zarana. So Scott, yes, indeed. Anyway, so Snake Eyes version 4, Monkey Wrench, Battle Armor Cobra Commander, Major Bludd, and the Claw will be going up for pre-order on the 15th. As far as the listings are concerned, it lines up nicely with that change in the listings, doesn't it? That I reported a few weeks ago, where Snake Eyes, Monkey Wrench, Battle Armor Cobra Commander, and Major Bludd had been combined into a group, and Sci-Fi Night Viper had moved forward into the other group, which is there for you to see on the left-hand side of the screen. Everything else is as you were. No changes since the last time we spoke. So we'll move through. 2026, of course, I did another update on these. So these have grown. We've got retro figures on this list now, which is really fun. Dexter, DD, and Mandark. And a few name changes elsewhere as well, including BB Rudy Deluxe, BB Bob Pet, which changed from like, oh God, I can't remember what they were. They were like Birdman and Bird Boy. It was Bird Boy Deluxe and Birdman Pet. And that's changed now to BB. They changed the internal code word name there, which is weird. We did find out as well that JQ Johnny, JQ Haji were Fanmazon, and Jesse Deluxe is Pulse. And we also found out that JJ Jaina was Walmart exclusive. MD Droopy is Target. So that's interesting. And then, of course, there were a couple of name changes on the retail waves as well. Tyrannus, Felina, Schlub, and Hippocampus were the internal code word like changes, which is weird. Numbers stayed the same, but the internal code word name changed. I don't know why. I don't know why. Stop asking me. Anyway, that's 2026. As well as that, of course, our name only reveals has changed. A lot of things have changed, actually. Name only reveals and digital renders have changed. We now just have the Sergeant Slaughter Mercer 2-pack as a name only reveal. I suppose I could put Red Dog and Taurus in here because Emily did effectively say the rest of the Renegades. So I think I may change that because it is officially technically a name only reveal. It's the Renegades. So I'm going to put, going forward, Red Dog and Taurus on here. And I'm going to assume it's also a 2-pack. I'm just going to assume that. Okay. So I'll add that to the name only reveals going forward. You've made my mind up for me by me talking to myself. And then, of course, digital renders have grown. Of course, we already had Snake Eyes version 4, of course, with the group with Striker, MMS with Colonel Hawk, and the retro green shirt. But the most growth has happened on the right-hand side of the screen, where Cobra Commander, Major Bludd, and Monkey Wrench have joined Slice and Dice, Cold Slither, and the Retro Bat. Yep, more pre-orders to come. I'll be greening some of the listings, of course, turning them to green on the 15th. And of course, as well as that, we'll be speaking with the team once again. I feel like they just have their own regular show at this point. And we'll ask them all the questions as well. Hope you enjoyed the last interview. I had a lot of fun with that. They're so much fun, Lenny and Tony. It's just great to have them on. And if you haven't also checked out my unboxing, I did an unboxing for the latest wave of O-Ring figures from Super 7, which I need to go and check out Zartan's color change because I haven't had a chance to yet. I need to do that if the sun's still out, which I don't think it is at the moment. In any case, you can go check out that unboxing as well. Those pre-orders drop tomorrow, or not pre-orders, those orders for Super 7 drop tomorrow, I believe. They'll be on Super 7's website and everywhere else, I suppose, in store and all that kind of jazz too. So keep an eye out for that tomorrow as well. I will leave it there for you guys. The next time, I don't know when I'll see you next. Maybe, I don't know. I won't be talking these because I've already unboxed them. I've pretty much done as much talking as I can about the Super 7 stuff. I will probably see you for the weekly if there's no other news for the week. If you're a Patreon member for us right now, I'll be doing a episode very shortly. This following off the back of this, I'm going double duty, so I'll be doing an episode for our patrons as well. If you're a Red Shadow Army or SAS patron, of course. And that's pretty much it. Stay fresh, cheese bags. And as always, after 3, I think you know what to do now. 1, 2, 3, full force. Laters. That's it for this installment of the Full Force News Burst. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe. See you next time, and as always, full force. Make sure you get involved with the discussion by liking, sharing and commenting on these videos. And as always, you can keep up with the show after listening by following on all of our social platforms, links in the description. And if you would like to contact the show, you can message us on any of those platforms with feedback or questions. We also have a Patreon page, so if you want to show your support for the show, see your name up in lights on these videos, or enjoy exclusive bonus content, then check out patreon.com/The Full Force Podcast, or click the link on any of the posts this podcast appears in. Full Force.